Welcome to Echoes of the Past, where history isn't just old, it's oddly fascinating.
From forgotten facts to bizarre backstories, we dig into the dusty corners of time
So
so
you
you
don't
don't
have
have
to.
to.
I'm Jody Lynn, your amateur historian and full-time trivia hoarder.
And I'm Ephraim, here for the facts and the fun.
So let's rewind the clock and press play on the past. From the moment people started burying their dead, they started fearing what might happen if those graves were disturbed. Curses are humanity's way of drawing a line in the sand. This is sacred, don't touch it. Whether carved into a tomb wall, whispered through folklore, or written into an eBay description for a haunted wine cabinet, curses live on because they combine fear, mystery, and storytelling. This episode explores some of the most famous cursed items and tombs, the real stories behind them, and how pop culture turned those legends into the movies, games, and shows we still can't get enough of.
The Hope Diamond is one of the most famous cursed objects in the world. Weighing over 45 carats, its rare blue color made it a legendary from the moment it was discovered. Likely in India in the 1600s, legends claimed it was stolen from a Hindu temple idol, and that from that theft, a curse was unleashed. Owners of the diamonds supposedly suffered ruin, betrayal, madness, and violent deaths. French King Louis the 15th, no 16th,
16th.
16th, and Marie Antoinette, who owned the diamond before the French Revolution, both lost their heads to the guillotine. Later, collectors allegedly fell into poverty or died young. When it arrived to the Smithsonian in the 1950s, curators leaned into the curse to boost public interest. Instead of scaring people away, the story made it one of the museum's stars attractions. Millions visit it every year. Pop culture tie-ins. Similar cursed jewels appear in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl. The Hope Diamond curse even influenced the Queen of the Ocean necklace in the Titanic. In video games like Uncharted 2 and Skyrim, cursed gems and treasures draw directly from this legend.
They also have a copycat of this jewel that you can see at the Carnegie Museum in Pittsburgh, I want to say. It's the left one. So I think Philadelphia is on the right and Pittsburgh's on the left, if I remember correctly. Anyways, it's at that one, and it's actually a perfect replica of it. It's really pretty. In 1991, hikers in the Ötztal Alps discovered a naturally mummified body over 5,000 years old, soon dubbed Ötzi the Iceman. He gave scientists an unprecedented window into prehistoric life, but not long after, rumors spread that his discovery unleashed a curse. Several people involved in his recovery died in unusual or untimely ways. The German mountaineer who found him died in an avalanche. A scientist who examined him died in a car accident, and another fell from a cliff. By the mid-2000s, at least 7 deaths had been linked to Ötzi. Most archaeologists dismiss this as a coincidence. Working in dangerous mountain conditions makes accidents more likely, but the story of a prehistoric curse caught fire in the media. Some tie-ins with this one is that the X-Files episode Ice borrows from the Ötzi discovery, imagining ancient parasites released from frozen bodies. It's a real fear that a lot of people have. Games like The Long Dark and Subnautica Below Zero echo the theme of ancient dangers emerging from ice, and documentaries often lean into the curse angle to add mystery even when scientists push back.
Cursed dolls. Robert the doll, kept in Key West, Florida, looks harmless, a faded soldier or sailor doll. But since the early 1900s, locals have claimed he moves on his own, giggles, and brings misfortune. The museum housing Robert receives hundreds of apology letters each year from people who claim they took photos without permission, and then experienced bad luck until they wrote to him. Annabelle, a Raggedy Ann doll housed in the Warrens Occult Museum, is said to be possessed. Visitors claimed it caused car accidents, strange injuries, and even deaths after they mocked it. Annabelle became a centerpiece of the Conjuring movies, where Hollywood exaggerated her into a terrifying porcelain doll.
We talked about that in the last one.
Yes, and I have learned recently that the reason why in the Annabelle movies they don't use the Raggedy doll look is because of copyright disputes.
That makes sense. Raggedy Ann would be copyrighted. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, because the guy who invented the Raggedy Ann doll, his like family or whomever now,
Yeah.
Are disputing with the people who own the license for the doll he used as the base for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they didn't put it in the use it as like the centerpiece in the movie.
Gotcha.
It pops up in the movies, the Raggedy Ann doll, but not like actually Annabelle, and that's why they use that ugly ass doll
thing.
Yeah,
looks like a really bad try for a like animatronic.
Yeah.
Robot thing.
Pop culture tie-ins. Child's Play from 1988 gave us Chucky, inspired by stories like Robert.
Makes sense.
The Conjuring universe turned Annabelle into one of horror's most bankable cursed items. Games like Phasmophobia and Luigi's Mansion featured haunted dolls and toys clearly inspired by these legends. And Supernatural had multiple cursed doll episodes blending horror with humor.
It's an actual like phobia of dolls because of stuff like this.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum, I think, has it. I only learned that because Ellen scared the shit out of him with it on one of the episodes where he came on. It made me laugh so hard. The next one we're going to look at is the Koh-i-Noor diamond. It is one of the largest cut diamonds in the world and has a bloody history. Originating in India again, it passed between conquerors for centuries. Mughals, Persians, Afghans, Sikhs, and eventually the British Empire. Every man who claimed it seemed to face downfall or death. A legend says he who owns the diamond will own the world, but will also know all its misfortunes. Only God or woman can wear it without fear. Fittingly, in the British crown jewels, it has only been worn by queens and queen consorts. Some tie-ins for this one are films like Blood Diamond borrow from cursed jewel tropes. Games like Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, and Assassin's Creed Syndicate include cursed or dangerous diamonds echoing the Koh-i-Noor legend. The jewel's colonial history has also made it a point of political debate, showing how curses can reflect real-world pain and conquest. This is another one that you can see at the Carnegie. Carnegie has a huge exhibit for all the different jewels of the world.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's really pretty. They don't let you take pictures. Like, if they see that you're taking pictures, you get walked out of the building and made to, like, delete them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one of the most modern cursed items, the Dybbuk Box, entered public lore in the early 2000s. It's a wine cabinet claimed to contain a Dybbuk, a restless spirit from Jewish folklore. Its first eBay seller described terrifying experiences, bad luck, illness, strange odors, and nightmares. The story went viral. Paranormal shows, documentaries, and especially Ghost Adventures made it infamous. Zach Baggins even put it on display in his haunted museum in Las Vegas. Whether real or hoax, the Dybbuk Box captures how curses adapt to modern storytelling platforms. The internet became its tomb wall. Pop culture tie-ins. The Possession from 2012 was directly inspired by the Dybbuk Box. Ghost Adventures dedicated an entire episodes to it. Games like Phasmophobia and The Binding of Isaac feature cursed boxes and cabinets that draw from the Dybbuk legend. And shows like Eli Roth presents A Ghost Ruined My Life use it as a shorthand for haunted object horror.
I was telling you about this one like a month ago. The guy who owns it now died. He was taking it on a show or a tour, basically, to show it off. And he died. He also owned the Annabelle doll. And he died from a alleged heart attack in his hotel room. And I was like, oh my God. That's fun. All right, next we're going to go into tomb curses and exploration. The first and most well-known is Tutankhamun's tomb. In 1922, Howard Carter uncovered Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt's Valley of the Kings, one of the most significant archaeological finds ever. Soon after, Lord Carnarvon, who financed the dig, died from blood poisoning caused by an infected mosquito bite. Newspapers pounced, claiming the curse of the pharaohs had struck. Over time, more deaths of people connected to the dig were blamed on the curse. The press fanned the flames, and public imagination never let go. Scientists later argued mold spores or ancient bacteria might explain illnesses, but the curse story outshone the science. Some tie-ins are the Mummy films, 1932, 99, and 2017, all center on the idea of tomb curses unleashed. The Exorcist begins with a cursed relic dug up in Iraq, echoing Tutankhamun's cursed legend. And games like Assassin's Creed Origins and Shadow of the Tomb Raider recreate Egyptian tombs filled with traps and curses. And then in TV, you've got Ancient Aliens repeatedly revisiting Tut's curse.
Tamerlane, the 14th century conqueror, was buried in Samarkand, Uzbekistan. His tomb bore an inscription warning that opening it would unleash an invader more terrible than I. In 1941, Soviet archaeologists opened it. Days later, Hitler invaded the Soviet Union in Operation Barbarossa.
That's one hell of a coincidence right there.
Yeah. According to accounts, Stalin ordered the body to reburied with Islamic rites in late 1942. Weeks later, the Battle of Stalingrad turned the tide of the war against Hitler. The timing cemented the cursed story in Soviet and global imagination. Stories of Tamerlane's curse influenced novels and documentaries about World War II. Games like Civilization and Total War include Timur as a character tied to apocalyptic conquest.
With your knowledge of all of the Nazi and fun stuff like that, did you know that?
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that. When I was doing the research on this, I was like, there's no way. Like, when I saw that, I was shocked. I think it's hilarious, but the coincidentalness of it is ironic as all get out.
Yep.
Some other tomb legends are the Terracotta Army in China, where folklore claims curses protect the Xinji Huang's massive tomb. It remains unopened to this day, partly out of respect and partly fear of disturbing what lies inside. The Mayan temples, where explorers in the 19th century often reported misfortune or illness after desecrating sacred sites. Then you've got the Celtic burrows throughout Britain and Ireland. Folklore warns of digging into burial mounds, bad luck, hauntings, or death. And a few more tie-ins are the Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider, which are the quintessential tomb raiding franchises inspired by real-world legends and archaeological myths. Uncharted merges tomb curses with Lost City adventures, and then Skyrim and Elden Ring fill their worlds with cursed burrows and tombs echoing Celtic and Norse burial lore. And we are going to talk more about like a lot of the stuff in like movies and stuff here in a minute before we quit out.
Many of these curses have scientific explanations: mold, bacteria, ancient toxins, but that rarely makes headlines. Humans love stories that warn us about greed and hubris, and curses do just that. They turn history into morality plays. Moving to the entertainment and pop culture. Movies: The Ring, the 2002 remake, U.S. remake, or cursed videotape that kills its viewers after 7 days.
I still have yet to watch that.
The Ring and The Grudge are kind of the same thing.
I watched The Grudge. I didn't watch The Ring.
I've never seen The Ring either. I think everybody knows what it's about pretty much.
I watched the newest one where it went on social media instead of the videotape.
Yeah.
And that was pretty interesting. It wasn't scary, but it was interesting.
The Annabelle series,
like we've talked about,
based on supposedly possessed Raggedy Ann doll, with Hollywood version turned into a terrifying antique doll.
It's not terrifying.
It's not. It's really goofy.
Oculus.
Oculus, cursed mirror, distorts reality and drives people insane.
We talked about that on the last one.
The Possession, inspired by the Dybbuk legend. The Hope Diamond Mystery, 1921, one of the earliest films about a cursed jewel tying into real world legends.
Then, of course, as TV shows, as we've already mentioned, was Supernatural, which has countless episodes featuring cursed items, coins, paintings, mirrors, you name it. Then you've got The Twilight Zone, which is often played with cursed artifacts like ventriloquist dummies or antiques. Then you've got The Paranormal Witness and Haunted Objects on the Travel Channel, which is modern reality documentary shows about haunted or cursed items. And then, of course, as we've mentioned many, many times on many episodes, you've got The Ghost Adventures with Zach Baggins, famously brought the Dybbuk Box and showcased it, making it a pulp culture staple. Some more TV shows are, you had one the other day that was a really good one, but I don't remember what it was called. But you've got the one I was talking about, which I think was Uncharted, with the guy where he goes across the world and does all the different tombs and magical things you can find.
Yeah, Expedition Unknown or something.
Yeah, Expedition Unknown.
Yeah. Video Jameses. Dark Souls and Elden Ring, cursed items, weapons, and rings are central mechanics, often carrying both power and doom.
Another hand has touched the beacon.
That one, Skyrim.
I know. It's still Elden. No? And Elden Ring part of the Skyrim and Oblivion and shit like that?
Elden Ring is Dark Souls.
What am I thinking?
I don't know.
I'll think of it later. I'll fix it.
Skyrim and Oblivion, that's all the Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls, that's what I was thinking.
Resident Evil series features cursed artifacts and bioorganic weapons with similar mythic feel. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. The mask itself is a cursed item driving destruction. Phasmophobia includes cursed objects like the Ouija boards and Zolls in its ghost hunting gameplay. Other games like with Tomb Raider, like the classic Tomb Raider games and the newer Tomb Raider games, they all have like cursed objects, kind of like a lot of supernatural stuff too.
Really?
And of course, the main thing going into tombs and looking for loot.
Do you think it really, like, I know we're about to talk about it, but do you really think that the Lara Croft Tomb Raider movies actually talked about curses and stuff, or just that they were all trapped?
I've never seen them.
Wow, we're gonna have to watch those because they're good movies.
I know. I don't know. I just have a thing about watching video game movies because usually they're all pretty terrible.
Well, didn't the movies? No, the movies didn't come first, did they? I thought they did.
The games came out first.
I thought the movies came out first.
No.
Well, I've had this backward my whole fucking life.
Yeah. The original Tomb Raider game was on like the PS1, I think. It's like 98, just about.
See, I've grew up watching the Tomb Raider movies, and they've always been like one of my favorite movie series.
Yeah. PS1, PS2, PS3. They also had some on the Xbox 360. And then you got the Tomb Raider reboot in 2016 that I played. I like those ones. Tomb Raider 2016, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then the most recent one that came out a few years ago. I don't remember what it's called, but I played it a bunch.
There we go. The original was 1996 for the video game, and the movie came out in 2001.
Okay, yeah.
So you were pretty close.
And then most recent, like Indiana Jones has had some video games before, but the most recent one is like the best one out of all of them, from what I understand. And then the Uncharted games, where you go to like ancient cities and all that other jazz.
Yeah,
I like those ones too. Those games are fun.
That's fair. Okay, so we've touched on a few of these movies already. Of course, all of the Mummy movies, the Indiana Jones, like we were just talking about, they always have the cursed items.
Yeah.
The Lara Croft movies, which it says there's only 2001 and 2003, but I feel like there was a third one.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the third one was one of the newest ones, and they didn't use Angelina Jolie. They used a whole different actress.
Oh yeah, I remember which one you're talking about.
And then you've got, of course, all the national treasures. It's a lighter take on the tomb exploration and cursed treasures, which are tied to American history. And then, of course, you have The Exorcist from 1973. Less obvious, but the story does begin with a cursed relic unearthed in an archaeological dig in Iraq.
TV shows, Ancient Aliens often ties tombs, curses, and artifacts to extraterrestrial theories.
That was such a big word for no reason.
Yeah. Expedition Unknown. Josh Gates explored tomb legends and archaeological mysteries. Librarians, TV series focused on protecting cursed artifacts and tomb-related mysteries.
It's also a movie.
Relic Hunters from 1999 to 2002. A mix of adventure and archaeology, very much in the Indiana Jones mold.
And then, touching on some video games we've already touched on before, of course, the whole Tomb Raider series like you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got the Uncharted series with Nathan Drake, uncovering cities and tombs. All of the Assassin's Creeds pretty much have it in some way or another, but it really hits on the origins, which is the Egyptian tombs, curses, and artifacts. Do you think that the earlier games touch on it more than the newer ones? Like the artifacts you're looking for specifically?
The older Assassin's Creed games, like, they more just had the artifact or the pieces of Eden, that they're called in game. They were kind of the focus, I guess. But it was more like, it's more heavy on the assassins stopping the Templars from taking over the world.
Yeah. Which the Templars are going to be talked in a future episode when we go into the secret organizations of the world. That one's going to be fun. We're going to get murked.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't really have a heavy focus on it. But then, like, these later games, they have, like, tombs, air quotes.
Yeah.
Where you go in, fuck around, kill some people.
Fuck around and find out.
I do a puzzle or here and there, and then you get loot, and then that's kind of it.
Say,
but they're not really the focus.
I feel like they're more just parkour games at this point.
Yes.
They're not really...
Well, I think Assassin's Creed is so far removed from what it originally was. Mm-hmm. It might as well just be a different series.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Especially the Valhalla one. like they touch on it, and the little assassins dudes do come into the village, but for the most part, you're just
A Viking.
doing Viking shit. Like it, I played quite a bit of it, and I'm still like, I don't understand how this is Assassin's Creed at all. Besides that, I have the little knives.
Yeah.
That's really the only difference I got here. And then of course you have the Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's the most recent one that I've played.
Yeah, that's the Mayan one that you were playing the other day, right?
Yeah, it's the most recent in the series. I don't know if they're gonna make
Another one.
any more.
You also have the Mummy video games, Mummy Demastered, which is a retro style game based on the Mummy reboot with cursed relics and tomb monsters. And then, of course, as everybody knows, you have Skyrim, which has burrows, cursed artifacts, and ancient tombs, which are a core part of the game's world. I do not go in the tombs; they scare me.
It's just Draugr.
Yes, but when you're playing it in the pitch darkness of the house and they just start popping out of places that you're not paying attention, they get kind of spooky, okay?
Yeah, but they're all pretty obvious. They're just sitting there in the wall. You can see them before they even do anything.
I don't pay attention when I'm running through shit. I'm looting. I'm a loot goblin. We both know this.
Okay. Why pop culture loves these themes. Cursed items equals the terror of the ordinary turn dangerous. Everyday items like dolls, jewels, or mirrors become deadly. Tomb raiding, the thrill of forbidden discovery. Ancient traps, warnings, and curses make exploration a mix of history and horror. Together, they hit the sweet spot: human curiosity versus ancient taboos. They let us imagine the consequences of greed, disrespect, or meddling with forces beyond comprehension.
So I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
So the tomb exploration thing and raiding, or whatever you want to call it, do you think that same curiosity that we humans have is also why you have so many people doing urban explorations into buildings that are supposedly abandoned? And do
Yeah.
you think that is why most people get that curiosity?
Yeah. Because, like, with urban exploration, like going and looking through buildings that have long since been out of business or decommissioned or not in use anymore, people they just want to know what's inside.
I think the malls are the coolest ones to look into.
Yeah, especially if they're like pretty old, and you go in and it's like time frozen place.
Where there's still all the shit in the stores and
Stuff.
Those are the wild ones to me.
Stuff in stores, just very clean, very just weird. I don't like the use of the term liminal because I feel like it's been
overplayed.
Like, oh, look at this hallway. It's liminal. No, bitch. It's just how it was designed. It's just a hallway. Ooh, tiles and slightly yellow lights. It's not fucking liminal. like I said, it's stupid.
I think with me, I think the malls kind of freak me out a little bit just because, like, malls and schools freak me out the most. I think because they are just giant, open, empty space that has been, like, manufactured. And it's like, you think about it and you're like, this should not be empty.
Yeah. And then, like going into a place thinking it's not, like, in use anymore, but there's security cameras and security doing patrols. And people, and you can get in big trouble for trespassing.
Oh, yeah. I've seen so many. And I'm like, there's ways around that, and knowing that you can, like, get around the cameras, or, like, even just to track to see if there are cameras. There's apps, there's all these different things you could do. So the fact that these people who are doing this aren't utilizing that and still getting caught is kind of ridiculous. Yeah,
but those are probably, like, amateurs.
Yeah.
And those people who've been doing it a while probably know.
Oh, yeah.
The ins and outs of how to get around it. And if security shows up or the cops, fucking just run.
That's what I've always seen, is people just run.
Yeah, they'll spot a cop car from the outside pulling in, and they go, like, to the complete other end of wherever they're at and fucking just take off.
Mm-hmm. That's when you start seeing the parkour in the videos.
Yeah.
All right. So curses on objects and tombs endure because they blend history, fear, and story. They make us wonder, if we reached out and touched the past, would it reach back? Pulp culture keeps these stories alive, from Hollywood blockbusters to survival horror games. Whether real or not, curses serve as reminders of our fascination with the unknown and our respect or lack thereof for the dead. Now, I do want to remind you that we are always taking emails on suggestions, your own personal stories on what we've talked about. You can reach out to us for sponsorships. Our email is echosofthepast.pod@gmail.com. We also do get slight sponsorship from Dubby.gg. If you go and use the code Echoes of the Past with no spaces, you'll get 10% off your order. It is really good drink mix. You just finished off our tub of it.
Yep.
And that lasted a long time, and you were drinking that pretty much daily.
Yeah.
They do have a few new flavors. One is a s'mores flavor that apparently is so popular that they've already sold out. But there are quite a few good ones. They've got really cool looking shakers, so it's definitely worth checking out. And our next episode is also going to be another short one about tattoos, so stay tuned.
Thanks for wandering through history with us on Echoes of the Past.
If you liked what you heard, subscribe, rate us, and tell that one friend who still quotes fun facts at parties.
And remember, history may repeat itself.
But we promise not to.
See you in the next Echo.